Perfect. What is going on, everybody? We are now live. This is your WWE Clash in Paris 2025 post show here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up and share throughout your entire social media platforms. As always, I am Steve. And again, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. If you're watching over on Kick, feel free to hit the follow button. If you're watching over on Twitch, hit the follow button there as well. But mostly all this goes down on YouTube, all right? YouTube.com, Around the Point Network. We're live. It is Sunday, August 31st. Summer is practically over. Tomorrow is September. You know how that song goes, right? Wake me up when September ends. Yeah, man. I love it, though. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I love it. I fucking love it. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday, early Sunday evening. Yeah, man. Clash in Paris went off the air literally an hour and change ago, and here we are with the post show. What's going on, everyone? I hope you all, again, are doing good. Overall, I thought the show overall was a very entertaining show for the most part. Look, I'm always going to enjoy these shows that take place in the middle of the day here on the East Coast. Look, I was in Europe, and I know I'm being repetitive with this. Oh, well, it is what it is. I was in Europe a week ago, okay? So I had to, I guess, not really, but like I was on my cousin's wedding in Portugal. And I got back from the wedding. It was like, 2 in the morning? And I was on Netflix because I was able to watch these PLEs on Netflix. And I just so happened to catch the main event of Obafemi and Javon Evans at 2 something in the morning. So the fact that I'm able to catch these PLEs early in the day, granted they were in Paris, I cannot complain. I cannot complain, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight on this show, not a single title that was defended tonight changed hands. And to be honest with you, I am not surprised. Not completely surprised. Overall, look, going into the show, again, I was out of the loop on a lot of things because, again, I was out of the country. But I thought the show, for the most part, was entertaining. Give me your thoughts in the live chat. What is your thoughts on the show? What did you like? What did you not like from the show? What was your match of the night? Here's what you should know. Yes, Seth Rollins is still your world heavyweight champion after defeating CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight in the Fatal 4-Way with an assist from his wife. Still the women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. And I gotta say, y'all, John Cena and Logan Paul hit a fucking home run. They did. And I'm looking at Cage Match right now, and I gotta say, shame on Cage Match, because I'm seeing that these fuckers are giving Cena and Logan Paul a 7.74 out of 10. Now, mind you, I understand the PLE just ended an hour or so ago. So later on in the day, if I'm to refresh, if I'm to, whatever the case may be, this number should be up, and I'm hoping that it is. This, again, they deserve more. I thought they hit a home run. And I'm not just saying that because, it was my guy, the Maverick, What is this? Of course it is, Chief. What do you mean? What is this? The post show? It is a post show, Chief. Come on, man. This is a post show. What are you talking about? This is a post show. The crowd in Paris were amazing. They were absolutely. They were amazing tonight. That crowd tonight. And again, you know what it is too? It's the European audience. And I must say, I must say, let me just say this right now, because I did see the videos on social media of a lot of people being upset. Oh, Chief, I get what you're saying now. You're saying because of the graphic. Yeah. Like, yeah, man, look. Oh, bonjour, monsieur. Oui. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Not bad, right? Not bad. Sometimes, what can I say? If you thought that was funny, we should have seen the Forbidden Door one, the late honest review that I did as well on the channel. But look, I thought the crowd tonight or this afternoon, because again, I do live on the East Coast in the United States of America. I must say this crowd brought it. Hands down. You would have thought, bro, that you were watching a PSG game in France. That's what it felt like. And they were energetic. They brought it. But as we are giving them their flowers, I must say this too, because I did see the clips on social media of all these fans. And I'm sure you guys seen this all the time. You've seen it. Again, it's not the first time, nor will it be the last time. You've seen all these fans, whether these wrestlers are at the airport, at the hotel, wherever it may be, they approach them with their smartphones and shit, and literally don't even ask for a selfie or a picture. They just whip out their phone. And I seen videos today. I seen people bombarding Rhea Ripley. I know CM Punk posted a thing on his Instagram stories about not touching strangers. I know Roxanne Perez was escorted by security. And I understand, look, it's the European fan base. They mean no harm. I get that. But there has to be a level of look, there's a time and place for this shit. There is. There's a time and place for pictures and all that stuff. But at the same time, we got to chill the fuck out. Chill the fuck out on some shit. We got to really just chill the fuck out. And start look, these people are human beings. Okay? You know what I hate the most? You know what I hate? I hate these fans who wait at the airport and they find out what terminal, what gate they're leaving from. I hate these fans who will find out what hotel they're staying at. I hate these fans who coincidentally will show up at the bar that these wrestlers will be at and act all like, hey, can I get... No. Stop it. Fucking stop it. And the sad part about it is this will not be the last time this happens. Yes, they do it with all celebrities. Absolutely. They did. Cena versus Paul stole the show, in my opinion. People keep moving the goalpost on the Maverick. Man can wrestle. Absolutely, bro. Logan Paul tonight and John Cena hit a fucking home run. Their favorite bum cannot do what Logan Paul does. Let me just say that right now. They fucking wish that they can, but they can't. But we'll get into that in a little bit as well. We'll get into all that. Again, let me know your thoughts in the chat. What was your match of the night? What match did you not like, and all that fun stuff? And yes, again, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, hit the bell notification. Let me just say this right now. Look, there will not be a Steve's Kitchen tomorrow, being that tomorrow is Labor Day, and chances are tomorrow I will be going out, so I will not be home. And I'm sure a lot of you out there are probably doing the same thing. So tomorrow there is no Steve's Kitchen. Steve's Kitchen returns back to its regular programming next week. That being said as well, we'll be back after this. We'll be back on Tuesday with the Raw Rundown. That is the plan of attack. And then Wednesday is back to the usual, sad. And then I'll see what I'll do Thursday and stuff like that. But overall, I thought this show was entertaining for the most part. I thought France delivered. I want to point this out too. Look at the stage that they used tonight. That fucking stage, bro. Look, it's not every day. As of late, it's not. every day the WWE, normally when they will try to put some effort on their stage is normally for like WrestleMania, or whenever they go to Saudi Arabia, or sometimes the SummerSlam, right? They will put some type of effort into like their stages and setups. I love this. It's like in the background you see like the Van Gogh painting, right, from Van Gogh, but in the center it's the Eiffel Tower lit up. Fucking beautiful. Again, as someone who was in Europe last week, I ain't gonna lie, makes me wish I would have went to Paris, but I did not. Granted, I went to Portugal, went to Spain. I love Europe. Fucking love Europe. Had a great time. But that's beside the point. That is besides the fucking point. I thought this stage setup was fucking beautiful. Fucking beautiful by WWE. Hands fucking down. Okay. The show opened up with Roman Reigns and big Bronson Reed. And for Bronson Reed, look, man, this is a big opportunity, right? You're facing the guy, right? The face of the franchise of this company in Roman Reigns, right? Depending who you talk to, right? And you wanted to see, could he uh was he able to hang with Roman Reigns, right? You're facing the guy, right? And I love the whole thing, the whole concept of tribal chief versus tribal thief, right? Roman Reigns came out wearing two Ulafalas, two of them, not just one, but two. Uh, they said on commentary he was honoring his father and his uncle, the Wild Samoans. So I thought that was a good touch. And obviously Bronson Reed was wearing the Shula Fala. And I thought overall, look, they went out there and they tore the house down to open the show. Um, I would love to see them run this back somewhere down the road. And look, I know a lot of people were probably saying too, Roman after this, because what we saw, right? He's going to go film Street Fighter, right? So we're not going to see him for a while. We're not going to see him. So the idea would have been, hey, maybe Bronson Reed gets to win here, right? Because people were telling me this. Oh, it would not hurt Roman to lose to Bronson Reed, right? Would not hurt him at all. I get that, but at the same time, it's Roman Reigns. The most you'll get out of him, look, man, the most you'll get is Roman allowing you to shine in a match, and that's what happened here with Bronson Reed for the most part. There's a moment in the match where Roman goes for the spear, and Bronson catches him, right? But when it was all said and done, Roman Reigns did pick up the W. The match went about 22 minutes and 7 seconds. And then after the match, Paul Heyman is like, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. And he's putting the one up, right? And Roman proceeds to guillotine choke Paul Heyman. And it looks like he was about to put him through the table or something like that. And who happens to show up? Braun Breaker. Not so fast, Roman. And he spears him. And then they completely just lay him out, because after, Bronson Reed got back up and he hit the tsunamis, multiple tsunamis, right? And then they brought up the stretcher. They stretchered up Roman Reigns, right? And they proceeded to attack. Bronson Reed came back and he hit the tsunami splash, while Roman is laying there on the board, right? Tight already, strapped up and all. He can't move, right? And again, this is a way to write him off. Now, I'm gonna say this right now. The moment they do, just give me 1 second here, okay? Give me I'm back. So I will say this, the moment we see Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker, when that happens, brother, it's going to feed families. Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns, when it goes down, it is going to fucking feed families. Some people were even saying WrestleMania. Honestly, I'd rather that be the Seth and Roman match for WrestleMania, but who knows, right? Who fucking knows? Chief writes here, I love to see unique stages. I love to see unique stage sets are back. If they change more, they need to deliver. Absolutely. And if you want to just do these stages, when you go international, fine. Because again, in the States, I get it. You know what I mean? But when you go abroad, outside the US, yeah, switch it up with your stage sets. That's all I'm asking for here. I think all of us are asking for that. But overall, I thought Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed delivered, and a way to write Roman off as he goes off to film for Street Fighter. From there, we go on to the WWE Tag Team match between the Wide Six of Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy versus the team of the Street Profits of Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. They had B-Fab in their corner. And if you notice, the Street Profits, they were wearing a couple of masks there. I guess this is like it has to do with a video game, to my understanding. It had to do with a video game, right? I'm trying to figure out the name here because I don't want to butcher this fucking name of the fucking game. So, yeah, Borderlands, right? Borderlands. So that was like the whole thing. They were teasing at first, right, that there was some tension between Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, right, at the beginning of the match. Look, I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, why this match even on? I get that. It felt like a TV match when it was all said and done. But look, I think it's cool to see that the tag team titles, even if it's the SmackDown set, it's fine. It's cool that it's getting some shine on a PLE for the most part, right? I'll be honest, the Wyatt Six do nothing for me. They do nothing. They just don't. It's been a minute now. I know Bo's been hurt. I get that. But for me, honestly, dude, when I see them on TV, it is what it is for me. It is what it is, right? But for the most part, look, this match, it was fine, right? They did their usual shtick here. Like Montez Ford did a dive onto the outside. Angelo Dawkins, when he got the tag at some point, he was doing his thing, right? And look, I'm not surprised here. Like, I'm not shocked that, the Wyatt Six retained. I know somewhere in this match, Uncle Howdy hit the Sister Abigail. I think it was on Montez Ford after Nikki Cross was hiding from underneath the ring and all that stuff. But again, to me, this felt like a television match at best. So there was that. Anika writes here, good to see you. I didn't know it was Ant-Man or Fantastic Four, LOL. Yeah, at first I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? And then I had to look in the chat. I had to ask my group chat that me and the boys are in, and they were telling me, oh, it's from Borderlands. So that was cool, I guess. Miz and Mello need to be the ones to win the tag titles. Need something new and fresh. There's a lot of people who want, Carmelo Hayes to be on his own. And I get that. At the same time, Miz, him with Miz, we've seen this before, right? With Damian Sandow many years back, right? Alex Riley. It's like, but I'm willing to give this a chance. At least for all the people that are complaining, oh, Melo should be on his own. At least this is getting Melo some TV time. Could be worse. You could have Melo wrestle on Main Event, right? And no one would care. Just food for thought. Okay. Before we get into the next match, they did make an announcement. They announced that, guess what? They are going back to Europe in 2026. They are going back to Europe. They announced a European tour, the Road to the Royal Rumble. So they announced all these dates. Starts from January 8th. They'll be in Leipzig, Germany, at the quarterback Embilium Arena. If I butchered the name, I apologize. From there, there'll be a SmackDown in Berlin, Germany at the Uber Arena. January 9th. And again, for those of you out there, if you got a VPN, you get to watch SmackDown the time that it's airing in Germany. All right, just pointing that out. Saturday, January 10th, they'll be in Glasgow at the Hydro. Dynamite was actually at the Hydro before Forbidden Door, if you guys don't remember. And then they'll be on January 11th in Copenhagen, Denmark at the Royal Arena. Monday, January 12th, they'll be in Germany at the PSD Bank Dome. And I don't want to butcher the name, Düsseldorf. If I butchered it, I apologize. Then on Tuesday, January 13th, they'll be in once again in Germany. I'm not butchering the city here, but they'll be in the SAP Arena. Thursday, January 15th, they'll be in Newcastle at the Ultima Arena in Newcastle. Friday, January 16th, it'll be a SmackDown. Again, if you got your VPN, you get to watch SmackDown when it airs in London at the OVO Arena in Wembley. So that's Wembley Arena, just so you guys don't get confused with Wembley Stadium. Okay. And then they wrap not yet. And then Saturday, January 17th, they'll be in Poland at the Arago Arena. And then Sunday, January 18th, they'll be in Nottingham, England. And then Monday, January 19th, they'll be in Belfast, Ireland, Northern Ireland. So all this leads up to the Royal Rumble of 2026, which will, again, we all know it will be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Is that the only Euro tour? I think that's for now in 2026. There'll probably be more European tours, but I think what they're trying to do is get some excitement. Again, just like they had the Road to WrestleMania, they had that European tour, right? Just like they had the European tour post SummerSlam, they're going to probably try to do one for the Royal Rumble, right? Let's make Rumble a big deal. Let's do it. And it should be a big deal, right? Because it's the beginning of the Road to WrestleMania. But let's also, get some hype, get some excitement for the Royal Rumble, right? It's going to be in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, right? So, yeah, let's do a European tour, which is fine for the most part. That means to me, guess what? Raw and SmackDown on those dates that I mentioned will be early in the day. That is great. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. From there, we got Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I'll be honest. This match, I dozed away. I just dozed. I did not care. And look, nothing against Nikki Bella. Like this idea that, hey, that she can hang, right? Okay, they were mentioning this on commentary. Oh, she was dominating in her era. Now you want to see if she can hang in this era, and like, come on, like, what are we doing? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Seriously. Like, I thought that was hilarious, right? Yeah, look, I commend Becky Lynch for trying to, make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I commend her. But this was just, from what I saw, the bleeding shits. It was. The crowd was pro Becky. Right? They were pro Becky on this one. And obviously, Becky Lynch did pick up the W, thankfully, right? But it was, again, the worst match on the show. Just skip this. Like, honestly, I'm looking at it right now. Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch right now on Cage Match has a 4.51 out of 10. Just so you guys know. Seth right here. Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella was a 2-pack of ass, the worst match of the day. But funny you mentioned that, brother. Funny you mentioned that.
That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks. That shit is a 2.
There you go. You're not kidding there, brother. You're not kidding. You're not lying there, brother. It was just ugh. And of course, we all saw that spot. We all saw the spot where Nikki's on the middle turnbuckle, and she I guess you're trying to go for like an insecurity, and she missed. And Becky didn't even bother selling it. Like, nah, I ain't selling this shit. When it was all said and done, though, Becky Lynch did retain. It kind of felt flat, though. It kind of felt like a flat mat finish, but I'm good. Look, Nikki Bella, thank you for returning, right? Thank you for reminding us how brutal your era was when you were on top, how brutal it was to sit through, right? And yes, I'm pretty sure she will find some way to take the credit for the hashtag give divas a chance, even though to some people she's responsible for it, right? But whatever, right? But it was just like, nah, just go away, go home. Yes, I agree with Chief here. Nikki needs to go ahead and retire those Jordans. This ain't it anymore. Nah, it's over. It's Jover. It's time for her to put the fries in the bag and just call it a day. Call Nikki Bella back. Yes, she did. And then there's some people out there who want to see Brie Bella back in WWE. Brie Bella. There's some people out there who are like, oh man, the Bella twins and how great they are and this and that. And to those people, you know what I say? You know what they are? You know what? You want to know what they are? Let me tell you what they are.
Guys are D1 Glazer.
Simple as that. D1 Glazers, bro, for the Bella twins. I've never fucking seen it in my life. From there, we go on to Rusev versus Sheamus in they had a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Oh, one more thing before I go any further, right? So after Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker attacked Roman Reigns, right, we saw Adam Pearce backstage sweating, just screaming at these guys that they are both banned from the arena. Banned. They cannot be at ringside for Seth Rollins' world title defense in that fatal four-way, because if they do, they would be suspended indefinitely without pay. So you're wondering who is going to step up. I know people were saying Tony D'Angelo because he was in Paris. Like, no, come on. Hell no. Liv is a better wrestler than Nikki Bella. Yeah. Not really saying much, but yeah, I guess so. From there, we go on to Rusev and Sheamus in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. I love this. It was fun. Like, Sheamus cannot have a bad match. And just like I expected, this was two big guys going at it. You know what I mean? Just laying it in there, just going back and forth, right? All these crazy spots, the near falls, right? There was a spot near the end there where Sheamus and Rusev are on top of the barrels, right? And Sheamus literally, I think he goes for like the white noise, right? Was it white noise or the Celtic Celtic cross? One of the two, onto the tables. And the way they shot this, like they shot this from like the camera was at the bottom and they were on top of the barrels and shit. So they really made it seem like, oh man, this shit was crazy. And it was. And again, the crowd in Europe ate this up. In Paris, they were eating this up. And I'll be honest, going into this, I'm like, you know what? They might just give Sheamus the win because at the end of the day, it's his match, right? We're doing a match based in Ireland, a Donnybrook match in Paris. You know? Sheamus versus Rusev was a banger and all these meat emojis. Yeah, pretty much. But to the surprise of everyone, I guess here, Rusev picked up the W. He hit the act. He choked out Sheamus with the shillelagh across the face, and Sheamus tapped out. The match went about 20 minutes, and Michael Cole referenced this on commentary. This is the second time that Sheamus tapped out in his career. I don't even remember who was the first one to make Sheamus tap out. Chat, if you know, let me know. Okay? Where does Rusev go from this win? What's next? They might run this back. They might run this back one more time. But I think for Rusev, though, like, I'm not saying right now, but I think whoever beats Dominic for the title, maybe after that, have that person feud Rusev. Maybe so, but we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. But I thought there was a fun match between both these guys here. From there, we go on to John Cena and Logan Paul. Look, these two guys went out there and had a home run. A fucking home run. These two guys went out there and tore the house down in Paris. People were wondering, hey, would Cena, because look, he has like what, 8 dates left on his retirement tour, right? You would think maybe Cena might be at this stage of the game just putting people over on the way out. And look, they went out there, bro, and they tore it down, bro. Cena is still that guy, bro. And they referenced that, years ago, JBL referenced Cena as Big Match John. He still is that person. And you know what? The same can be said for Logan Paul. And again, I'm reiterating, I'm going to reiterate this right now. A lot of you put some respect on Logan Paul. I get it. He did not go through the independents, right? He didn't wrestle in Japan. I get it. But put some respect on that man's name. As far as the in-ring ability goes, that guy can go, bro. That guy literally was able to go out. And look, he's done it before, right? With AJ Styles at WrestleMania, right? With Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, right? Dare we even say, look, he does his version of the Buckshot Larry better than Hangman Adam Page. Sorry that upsets y'all, but it's the truth. The fucking truth. It was yes, I agree, Seth. It was an amazing match. And the sad part about it is a lot of these geeks, a lot of these nerds and virgins are not going to give Logan the credit. That's the sad part. A lot of these nerds and virgin like wrestlers that look like Wheeler Yuta. The fuck is that? But whatever. Bobby Lashley made Sheamus tap out in 2021. Thank you, Brandon, for reminding me. Thank you about that. John Cena versus Logan Paul match was amazing. Absolutely, Safat. Chief writes here, I felt like Logan and Cena were trying to prove a point. They never left the ring. This was a classic. Absolutely. You know what? This is a match that will probably go on the list. A match that I will probably go back and rewatch sometime before the year ends because it was a classic, dude. John Cena versus Logan Paul is my match of the night. Safat, you know ball. You know ball. Weston writes here, Clash in Paris overall was underwhelming, but the crowd was amazing. And Logan Paul is the most underrated wrestler in the world. Future world champ. Time will tell. Anika writes here, the thing about Logan Paul is he needs to learn how to create a better story to hype up his matches. I think the story is there, though. In the sense of he admits, like, yo, he is an outsider. And he's doing this wrestling thing better than a lot of these wrestlers. I think that is the story here, right? But I kind of get what you're going with it, but that's fine. You have the right to your opinion. Draven writes here, I'll put the respect on him as a wrestler, but I still think he's a douchebag in real life. That's fine. But at the end of the day, bro, when he's in that ring, bro, and that bell rings, bro, he will throw down, bro. Look, a lot of these geeks, y'all should be thankful Logan Paul can't travel to Japan. I said this at WrestleMania. You can ask Chase this. And again, people think this is a gimmick. No, bro, the Maverick can go. Y'all should be thankful Logan Paul can't go to Japan because if he did, brother, sister, he would be winning the G1, Best of Super Juniors. Dave Meltzer would have to give him the respect and give him the 7 stars. Again, he does it better than most of y'all favorites. Will they do Cena and Styles? I would hope so too, because if you notice in the match, if you noticed, right, like they did a lot of these moves. Like Logan did like the flying uppercut that Cesaro used to do. And Nicole referenced Cesaro, right? Logan did the zigzag, the Ziggler zigzag, reference Dolph Ziggler, If you remember, when Cena cut his pipe bomb, right, when he feuded with Punk, he referenced Claudio Castagnoli. He referenced, Nick Nemeth. He also referenced Matt Cardona, but he didn't have Logan Paul doing the broski boot, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Love how Cena was shouting out his friends in the business by doing their moves. Yeah. And then he hit the Styles Clash. I would love to see them run it back one more time before they call it before Cena calls it a career. Do I see it happening though? Not quite, but I would love to see them do it though. Right? This ain't Texas right here. The sickos revel for Paul Walter Hauser more than Logan Paul, but both put the work in. And look, I am not a big fan of Paul Walter Hauser, right? Like, let's be honest, the dude got his big break by singing Judas in Cobra Kai, right? But even I will admit, look, and I think also people got to start giving QT Marshall his flower. I did watch the match, right? I was watching Death Before Dishonor. I have Honor Club, but again, when I watch Honor Club, I watch it more for like the nostalgia of Ring of Honor, not this current crop of paywall of honor, right? And I know they're having issues, so they put it on YouTube. Tony Khan, honestly, just put Ring of Honor on YouTube. Call it a day. Put Ring of Honor on YouTube at the end of the day, okay? But I think a lot of you got to start giving QT Marshall his flowers, dude. He was able to go out there and make Paul Walter Hauser look like $1 million. And lads, that's it. That's an amazing gift to have in wrestling, in my opinion. So y'all got to give him his respect. That being said, yeah, I agree though. People will go crazy for Paul Walter Hauser, but they'll boo Logan Paul. But I don't need to see it again. I don't. However, honestly, him getting his ass kicked legit by someone like Suzuki or Shibata would make me happy. And I don't think that'll happen. I think Logan Paul will outclass Shibata. I don't think Shibata will want his eggs scrambled again. And Suzuki, look, he's I think a year or two from collecting Social Security. I don't know what the age for that requirement is in Japan, but let's just keep it a buck. Dude can barely move. Bro, Logan Paul in Ring of Honor. Bro, Logan Paul in Ring of Honor back in the day before AEW bought it, it would have been so over, bro. Maybe so. QT was killing it in Mexico back when AEW had the partnership. They still do. Can you imagine QT in Arena Mexico? Sign me up. But back to this match, though, bro. There are moments where I'm like, oh, Logan Paul has this, right? No. Cena hit the AA multiple times, got a near fall. And you notice, too, and I'll admit this, like, I was cheering for Logan Paul. Was cheering him on. But where he fucked up, he got cocky. He got arrogant. And that is what cost him. And Cena took advantage of that as the veteran. Overall, good match and told a good story. That's the story right there. Logan Paul got too cocky. Cena took advantage as the veteran and got the win. Good. And look, I ain't gonna lie. I was expecting something to happen near the end. Like, it's crazy, right? At the end of it, Cena goes to that fan that he, booed or whatever it was in the beginning of his heel run, right, in Brussels. And he was in the crowd. He was taking a picture with him, whatever. And then he kisses his wife on the same event that his ex-fiance was on. But I thought was funny as all hell. But, hey, good for them. Look, man, that date is down to 8, I believe. Man, it's going by fast, bro. It's going by fast. But, yeah, Cena is giving 120%. Man is turning back the clock. He low-key can do one more year. He probably can, but it's like, honestly, and again, maybe he knows this. It's his age. Like, how old is Cena right now? How old is he, right? I just want to make sure real quick. How old is John Cena right now? Real quick. He's 48. And I think for him, it's like, yo, I'd rather retire now than embarrass myself at 50 or something. And, that's probably what it is, in my opinion, right? I was cheering for Logan Paul. I'll admit it. There's no wrong in that. There's no shame in it. Weston, there is no shame in cheering for Logan Paul here. This is a safe space, okay? This is a safe space. There's no shame in cheering for Logan Paul here. You should know that. No shame in that. I'll admit it. Logan Paul is one of my favorite wrestlers. There's nothing wrong with that, Weston. You know what? I'm going to start this comment. Not only that, but you know what, Weston? You know what I'm going to do as well. You know what I'm going to do? Just for you, brother, because I love you, because you're good peoples. For you saying that, bro, you know what I'm going to do? And I want everyone in the chat to give Weston a round of applause.
This guy's a D1 Glazer.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? There you go. There you go, Weston. There you go. There you go, buddy. John Cena warned Logan Paul to, I'll admit it. Okay, yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go. John Cena warned Logan Paul about being too cocky. He did. Now that the ring rust is off, the matches have gone a lot better. Absolutely. I think also too, like Cena wrestles better as a babyface than a heel. If you notice that he wrestles better as a babyface than a heel. Granted, 03 Cena, when he was a heel in the early days, Dr. Thugonomics, awesome. The problem is the heel turn should have happened years ago in 2013. That's when it really should have happened, because they had all the ammunition for it, and Vince got cold feet. That's what happened. But overall, these two guys delivered. I think a lot of you need to start putting some respect on Logan Paul's name. And the crazy part about it is, your favorite Dave Meltzer will not give him the respect because, then the Tokyo Dome, it's not, in a New Japan ring. But I do hope by tomorrow, this 7.74, that cage match, the home of the nerd and virgins, they give this a better rating. We know you guys should do. Go over to cage match and give this match a higher rating. Let them know what's up. Okay? But then we got the main event, the Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship. You had Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Jey Uso versus LA Knight. I thought overall it was a fine match for the most part. I feel like every guy here had their moment, right? Like LA Knight got a near fall. I thought Jey Uso left his ring gear, or I don't know, like they never arrived. Like he was wrestling in like some fucking gym shorts and shit, it looked like. But whatever, it is what it was. He got a big pop, obviously. So did Punk. They were singing his song. And so did Rollins, right? And again, remember, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were banned from ringside. They were banned from the building. So you're wondering, how will Seth Rollins find a way to, prevail, right? And again, everyone was getting their moments in. There's a moment there where Punk went through a table by LA Knight, right? And there's also that spot where CM Punk hit the go to sleep on Rollins. And if you remember, like on the Netflix debut, that finish, right, where he hits the GTS on Rollins, and then Rollins lands on Punk's shoulders and he does it again. Kind of the same sequence here, right? But it looked like, hey, it was about to happen, like it was over, because Braun did bring in a chair. He was gonna curve stomp him right on the chair, that being Punk. And he was telling him, I hate your family, I hate you, I want you out of this company, blah, 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 blah. Right. And this is near the end too. Like, and mind you, Rollins took out everyone. He curb stomped everyone on the outside. And it looked like Punk had him in the GTS, right? And someone shows up in disguise, like a ninja, low blows him. And I already knew who it was. Just look based off the eyes. Becky Lynch, the wife of the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, who's, by the way, Becky Lynch is still, thankfully, the Women's Intercontinental Champion. And she helps her husband retain. retain. I'll be honest, it was kind of like, but you needed something. Like, look, I would rather it be her than Tony D'Angelo. Because people were saying, oh, Tony D. No, I'm good, bruh. I'm good. Bro, this Punk Rollins feud needs to wrap up. Punk probably only has a limited time left, and he's been feuding with Rollins since he came back, pretty much. Yeah. Like, here's the thing, right? Punk is ready to move on. It's Seth Rollins who's the one who is like obsessed with Punk. Obsessed with him. Anika writes here, bro, I hate that Becky getting involved has made Seth's title reign instantly better because now Seth doesn't have to change. Just let Becky do the talking. I wouldn't mind that. Let Becky be the one doing the talking for now. And look, people were wondering, hey, will this faction have a fourth member? There it is. What better person than, in this case, Seth Rollins' wife? I can see the vision on that. See what I did there? I don't know. I'm not feeling the vision. Just feels like I've seen this from Death Riders already. Well, Seth Rollins didn't put the world title inside of a briefcase, right? You don't see, the vision putting a plastic bag over everyone's head. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying, though. I get it. We need new writers. If AJ Lee doesn't return, there's no way you tease her return this hard and not give us a payoff. Will that bring AJ Lee with CM Punk? I don't know, dude. Like, it'll be cool. Look, it'll be cool to see AJ Lee return because people have been saying, oh, man, they better bring back AJ Lee. It needs to be her, right? I know there's a photo when Punk was coming down to the ring, and there's a sign, about CM Punk bringing back AJ Lee or some shit like that. And Punk looked at it and stuff like that, and it's up in the air. Like, you would think, yeah, man, bring back AJ Lee. I think people would go crazy for that. People would go ham for AJ Lee returning one more time, even if it's just a one and done. That's it. Like, I think people have this idea, right? They want to see AJ Lee in the ring with all these people, right? AJ Lee, Rhea Ripley, AJ Lee, Roxanne Perez, AJ Lee, Charlotte Flair, which not, again, they'll be on paper. These are matches. Yeah, sign me the fuck up. But I think for AJ at this stage of where she's at right now with her life, I really do feel like, her last match, and she was content with it, was at WrestleMania 31. But yeah, it would make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, you bring back, if Rollins bringing his wife, why can't CM Punk bring in his own wife? And right? That'll be awesome. Because it'll be kind of like a what the fuck if you don't, and all of a sudden you have Bayley teaming up with Punk. Now, you want to talk about counter programming. Can you imagine we get CM Punk, AJ Lee? Hear me out. Hear me out, gang. Hear me out. CM Punk, AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Ready for this? At WrestlePalooza. You want to talk about counter programming? There it is. There it is. There it is. Knowing WWE, they probably would give us Nikki Bella instead. Book it. Yeah. If you want a counter program, there it is. If you really want to stick it to the money mark, there it is. You know what I mean? But time will tell. Overall, look, I thought this show was pretty good. I enjoyed it for what it was. Okay? Now that we got that out of the way, I do want to wrap up with one more thing. Now, this happened a week ago. I was in Europe when this happened, but I want to talk about this whole, because again, there's not going to be a Steve's Kitchen, okay? I want to talk about this Raja Jackson situation. I do want to talk about it. Because people have been asking me, what's my thoughts on this and stuff like that. And look, this took place while I was in Europe. Okay. So this took place, I guess, the Saturday, right? So for those of you who don't know, if you're wondering what the fuck I'm talking about, this has been headline news now for the last week. Raja Jackson, the son of former UFC light heavyweight champion Quinton Rampage Jackson, attacked a pro wrestler at a wrestling event. He attacked someone by the name of Psycho Stu. Now, I'm kind of happy that I'm talking about this now because we all seen all the stuff that has surfaced since the incident, right? So I'm kind of happy that I let all this play out. So this happened at a Knox Pro Wrestling event. And at the time of that, they were a WWE ID school, right? Not anymore because of what happened. So this was all because, again, Raja Jackson was streaming live on Kick, right? That's where again, we're also live on Kick as well. And he was, doing the real life streaming. He was a guest of AJ Mana, the guy who told him, you got to go get your receipt. By the way, fuck that guy. Fuck him. And he brings him in as a guest. Keep in mind, Raja Jackson is not a wrestling fan, right? He's not a wrestling fan. And he's brought into the show, and they decide, right, to bring him in. And I guess Psycho Stu saw him. And according to him, because he saw the cameras and all that stuff, right, he thought, Raja was one of the boys and proceeded to hit him with a beer can. Right? Hit him with a beer can. Now, I ain't gonna lie. If someone would have hit me with a beer can, I probably too would try to, knock someone out. If someone did hit me with a beer can, I'm pretty sure you guys, if someone were to come up to you and hit you with a beer can, you probably be like, hey, yo, it's on site. But when all that happened, right? Everything, was sorted out, right? Psycho Stu did apologize. He didn't know that Raja, he didn't know that he wasn't a wrestler, right? So he apologized, right? Even though Raja was like, yo, I'm about to knock this guy out. I can knock him out, man. This is bullshit, right? But he accepted the apology. So then we go to the show. Like, the show's happening, and I guess they agreed to make it into an angle. Now, if you watch the stream, right, because I did watch part of the stream on clips and stuff like that, you see Raja Jackson sitting in the front row, looking down on his phone, reading comments of people telling him, yo, man, you better not be no bitch, man. You better go get yours, man. You better knock this dude out. If you don't knock him out, you a bitch. You a bitch. You this, you that. Da, 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 da. And for Raja, he said, oh, I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to knock him out. Remember, AJ Mana, who brought him in, told him, yo, you better go get your receipt. Better go get your receipt. And then we saw what we saw. Raja Jackson got in the ring, body slammed him, literally lifted him up, slammed him, Psycho Stu, to the mat. He was out. He was already out. Once his head hit that, once the back of his head hit the canvas, he was out. And then Raja proceeded to throw punches at him, fucking punches, left and like 22 shots. And then people try to break it up. And then there's somewhere in the clip where someone tried to like cover Psycho Stu for the 1, 2, 3. Fuck that person too. And then you see later on in the stream, because he was still streaming. He was still streaming this shit. You see him like, oh, I'm tired of people calling me a bitch. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that, right? Of being disrespected. And all this stems from his father, because his dad called him a bitch, I guess because Raja hugged a wrestling coach or some shit like that. Keep this in mind, okay? Raja is like an amateur MMA fighter. I think he has a record of 1-1. there was a stream prior to this where he was sparring, and in sparring, someone hit him with a spinning wheel kick and kind of gave him a concussion. The point of the matter is this, okay? This is content creator rule 101. Look, I've been doing this YouTube thing since 2010. So I feel like I am someone to say this. This goes to all of you out there who want to be content creators, streamers, whatever the fuck it may be. Never let the comments or the live chat get to you. And that is what happened. He let the comments, the chat, people calling him a bitch, people calling him all these names. You better do this or else you a bitch. He let all those people get to him. And we saw what we saw. Now, I've seen people as well saying, oh, you know, Psycho Stu should press charges. I get that too. Thing is, though, y'all got to understand something. I do agree. Raja Jackson does deserve to be taught a lesson. 100%. 100%. Not only him. While you're at it, also AJ Mana, the guy who brought him in, told him, yo, you better give him a receipt. And also Knox Pro. Now, mind you, a week and change has passed. And thankfully, Psycho Stu, because, yeah, there was a GoFundMe, right? Everyone donated, right? I know Jericho donated, Mr. Beast donated. Because, again, this was headline news, right? So this was already, like, all over the place. But thankfully, Psycho Stu, thankfully now he's at home. He's out of the hospital, right? He's out of the hospital. He's on the road to recovery, right? My thing is, though, honestly, yes, they should press charges. They should, 100%. He should press charges at Knox Pro, AJ Mana, because, again, they allowed this to happen. But let this be a lesson. If you're a content creator, streamer, whatever, do not let the comments in chat get to you. Do not. And I've seen also some wrestlers give their takes. I see Mark Henry make a fool out of himself, a fucking idiot. Just calling him a kid. My brother, dude's 25 years old. Okay? Just pointing that out. I know Rob Van Dam also said something too for headlines, for clicks, but we'll see where this goes. But again, it's good to know that Psycho Stu is at home. He's on the road to recovery. That's good to know. But yes, he should press charges. He should. Raja should be taught a lesson. That's my take. Yeah, he should know better. He should know better. The biggest downfall of a streamer is listening to what the chat does. Exactly. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times, right, these people who are in the chat, like if you're a streamer or whatever it may be, the people that are in the chat live vicariously through you, right? So they will say all the stuff, yo, man, you do this, man, I'm going to do this, but they're not going to do it. Remember that. That's all I want to say about it. Again, it's good to know that Psycho Stu is in good spirits. Like he's back home. He's recovering. That's good to know. All right. That's going to be it for me, guys. Much love to all of you. Again, there will be no Steve's Kitchen this week because tomorrow is Labor Day. We'll be back with the regular programming on Tuesday with the Raw Rundown. I go back to work on Tuesday, by the way. Okay. But thank you all for tuning in. You guys are awesome as always. I love each and every single one of you mother flowers. Okay. If you've not checked out my AEW Forbidden Door late honest review, go give that a watch here on the channel as well. I'm rocking a neck brace just like Will Ospreay. All right. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Follow me on X at Heel Steven. Follow the Around the Point Network on X at AT Point Network. Thank y'all for watching. Much love to all of you. All right. You guys are awesome as always. All right. For myself, for the chat, for the gang, This has been your WWE Clash in Paris 2025 post show. Peace out, everybody.
Perfect.
It's like, whatever.
Let me repeat for the fucking billionth time. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Fair enough.
Don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm not gonna sit back and take this fucking shit.
It sounds like all the people booing right now got a lot of tears coming out of their eyes. I see you guys with watery eyes right now.
I mean, folks, where's the lie?
You fucking mark!
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.